Welcome to Fraser Mac Gaming, I'm Fraser Mac. This is the latest video in my Fraser Mac Gaming news series, where I go through the latest news for the Switch, cover the games coming to everyone's favourite hybrid system, and I have the occasional rant when something really pisses me off. The month of March is upon us, and that means lots more awesome new indie games and AAA titles are on the way for the Switch. February was a quiet month for big game releases, but we did get a lot of cool indie games and the small matter of a long-awaited Direct. My videos for the February releases and Nintendo Direct will be in the top right of the screen now. But which games are on the horizon, what are my favourites, and why do I love Yoshi so much? Find out after this. The month of March is full of new undiscovered indie games, and this first title is one I've been given a review key for from Pigeon Dev, so thanks very much for that. Soompi is a throwback platformer replicating the old Game Boy style graphics. It has a quirky green tinge charm and it's short in story but full of challenging retro platforming. It's for anyone who wants to reminisce about the good old Game Boy days. Didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. You play as a greedy pea who you have to guide through challenging trials by running and jumping across the many challenges of Awesome Islands world. It sounds stupid, and of course it is, but despite the charming pixel graphics, the game does pack a punch in terms of dangerous dungeons, deadly traps and challenges to collect the many gold coins and diamonds. It's a little slow paced for me, and I prefer a charming story to go along with the gameplay, but Game Boy enthusiasts and retro gamers might get value for money when Soompi releases March 1st. It's going to be around $5 in the US and under £5 in the UK with a launch discount. March truly is a month full of retro inspired games, and a real classic series is back in the groove. See what I did there? Yes, ToeJam and Earl are back in the groove this month, and thanks to a lot of funk, sweat and Kickstarter funding, the series is going back to the original Mega Drive game's roots. Yet again, ToeJam and Earl have crash landed on Earth, and they're going on a funky fresh roguelike adventure to recover the pieces of their ship, the Rapmaster Rocket. The game has Greg Johnson, the co-creator of the original game, at the helm for the sequel/reboot of the franchise. It is a combination of old classic features and new content with co-op play, secret locations, hidden presents and new friends to be made along the way. ToeJam and Earl Back in the Groove is a great opportunity to refresh an old game series from the 90s, and hopefully it reaches the heights of similar sequels and reboots like Sonic Mania. You can return to Funkatron once again on March 1st when it releases for around £16 in the UK and $20 in the US. You can also still get a physical copy of the game from Limited Run Games until March 30th through their website. All the details will be in the links down below. Cast your minds back to the Summer Indie Showcase last year, and you might remember a fresh new falling block puzzle game that infused creative new platforming elements. Yes, that game was Treasure Stack, and it's finally ready for us to get our grubby little hands on it. So if you're a Flint Hook, Monster Boy and Tetris fan, then you're about to have a puzzle platforming explosion in your brain. If you've just checked yourself into rehab for your Tetris 99 addiction and you're trying to turn your life around, then please look away now. Treasure Stack looks equally charming and addictive. It might not have Battle Royale elements, but it does have 4-player local versus mode and online versus mode. It promises a fast-paced party game experience like no other, and you'll get to prod and poke the leftovers of the borrowers and force them to do your bidding, opening treasure chests and collecting keys to your heart's content. I'm only joking, minuscule imaginary people were not harmed in the filming of this game. I don't think that's a popular thing yet, but if it is and you enjoy it, shame on you. Onward though, the game does however offer over 100 items to unlock, lots of options to customise your hero, and promises of different slimes, chainsaws and boxing gloves. Basically has more treasure than you can chuck at a tiny imaginary person. Treasure Stack is out March the 1st for around £16 in the UK and $20 in the US. Game number 4 is another title that I've received a code for, so thanks to Fabrice and Cowcat Games for that. Has anyone noticed how much I hate shooters, action games, and absolutely loathe anything retro? Well yes, Riddled Corpses EX combines all those things that disgust me. I hate them so much that I've been completely addicted to Riddled Corpses EX for the last week since I got my early review code. Yeah, I stayed clean from my Riddled Corpses EX bump for several months after going to PS4 rehab, but now someone might as well book me a slot for the Switch Priory. This game is a fast-paced 60 frames per second thrill ride, and although it has 5 fairly short but challenging levels wrapped around a concise story, there is just oodles of replayability. There are multiple characters, weapon upgrades and power-ups to unlock, and boy oh boy survival mode. The high score challenge is real, and I seriously love it. Arcade mode just scares me, but it's there for the genuine hardcore gamers. I have given it a shot, and I'm probably going to finish it at some point, but I'm not betting on it. The game could benefit from some more variety and customizable options like a weapon shop, and it's much better with a controller than the Joy-Cons, but the gameplay is insanely addictive. For $8.99 in the UK and $10 in the US, it's a bargain and truly a hidden gem. If you like shooters, go buy it March the 2nd. We're at the halfway point of my top 10 Switch games for March, and the retro feels are high. This time we've got a 2D port of a game that originally released on PC in 2017. Gilboy is a chameleon of game genres all mashed together to give us a retro-inspired hack-and-slash RPG platforming adventure game. It's got all the Castlevania Ghouls and Ghosts and all the other 90s 16-bit games in there that a more well-versed gamer could mention. There's puzzle elements, sword-wielding combat in small and big sizes, depending on your preference, a big giant mace and 2 throwable weapons. It doesn't say what they are, but I'm hoping one of them is a stink bomb. You'll also be able to collect gold coins along the way and upgrade your health and weapons, and hopefully this takes you from a scrawny young Fraser Mac into an utterly majestic Master of the Universe He-Man. I almost forgot to mention, but it has the obligatory chiptune soundtrack to boot. All you nostalgic gamers out there are probably foaming at the mouth right now, and the best bit is it won't take endless hours of eBay lurking and Red Bull to find a cheap listing at 2am on a Wednesday night. You can purchase Gilboy and challenge the 4 big bosses for the princely sum of $8.99 in the UK and $10 in the US when it releases March the 7th. Rolling on to the very next day, we have something with a far more fast-paced and modern feel to it. Have I said before that you wait a long time for 26 shooters on Switch and then 2 come along at once? Typical. I know, it's a terrible joke, but it's becoming a running theme at the moment. I feel like I need to make it a thing. Yes, Assault Android Cactus Plus is completely different from Riddle Corpse's EX, but it looks like it could also have some very addictive fast-paced action. It is a much more sci-fi futuristic setting and is absolutely jam-packed with content, but retains the same arcade action. There are 9 playable androids with unique playstyles, a hefty 25-stage campaign, boss rush mode, infinity drive, I'm guessing that's a survival mode, and daily drive. Miss Daisy is still kicking around then. If you got that reference, you really shouldn't be watching this content. There are all sorts of online leaderboards, game modifying content to unlock, local co-op for up to 4 players, and remix stages in the new campaign plus. It looks like a little cutesy game, but for the 25% off launch price of £13.49 in the UK, it could pack a punch and be excellent value. In the US, you've been shafted and it's $20. EA, the Anakin Skywalker of video games, are a disgusting example of everything that is wrong with gaming companies. And that's just the stuff we know about. God knows what shady stuff the Emperor is cooking up right now that might never see the light of day. Much like their Star Wars games. Out of evil though, can come some good. And the EA Originals program is fighting against the EA darkness. It was born out of the success of the original Unravel game, and there have been a number of success stories since. Faye by Zoink. Yep, I love Zoink. The name is as creative, catchy and crafty as the games, but I digress. Yes, Unravel 2 is the follow-up to the original puzzle platformer from Swedish studio Coldwood. The Scandinavians really know how to make games. You have to overcome obstacles as 2 Yarnies who must work together to solve puzzles and manipulate their surroundings to progress. You can play single player by switching between the 2 Yarnies. There's obviously multiplayer, but it's local co-op only. There is a story, but I don't know what it is. It's an EA game. They've got no idea how to market that. I don't even think they understand the word. Well, yes, of course there is a story. Basically, you make friends and foster friendship to bring light to the dark places that EA have destroyed with their greed and use of the dark side powers. The beautiful Scandinavian setting and sense of wonder can be enjoyed March 22nd when it releases. The physical version will cost around £25, but if EA have anything to do with it, the digital version will probably be about £100. I know that's a lot of well-deserved EA bashing, but please don't hold that against Unravel 2 or Coldwood. They're a fantastic development team from Scandinavia, and the game is well regarded on all consoles it's been on before, and I'd love to see the original and Unravel 2 make its way to the Switch. I'm getting a physical copy, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it when it releases soon. Everyone knows about the Walking Dead TV series. It's been around for about 10 years now, and it's based on a graphic novel. If you don't know any of that, then this game definitely is not for you. The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, is an episodic adventure game which tried to be innovative and release new chunks of a story-driven game every 6 weeks, in a TV kind of way, but over a slightly longer time period. Now, this sounds like a great idea, and for the people who liked it, they really liked it. And more importantly, they love the main character Clementine. As far as I know, I've not played any of these games, so I'm going to apologise if I get anything wrong. Unfortunately, all of this is a horrendous idea for game dev. More on that later. Will Clementine live? Won't she? Will she end up as a zombie version of fast food? Or will she forever roam the land as a terrifying teen undead killer? The answers to all those questions seem like they wouldn't be answered, as the ongoing issues with continuous crunch time at Telltale led to numerous bugs, poor sales, and a heavily labour-intensive development process. This all led to investors getting very twitchy about the returns and the rapid implosion of Telltale last October. They've limped to the end though, and Clementines Story will hopefully reach a conclusion March 26th. I've never played any of the games, but Skybound.com has a very cool physical version of the game. Who knows what the end product will look like after the chaotic development cycle, but links will be down below for you to check out. And it shall be said, 2019 shall be forthwith be known as the year of Final Fantasy. Yes, I love Square Enix, but I have to admit my gaming tastes have evolved a little late in life. I'm going to admit something terrible here, and say for the life of me, I can't ever remember playing a Final Fantasy game. I know it was released when it was just Square, but they made a lovely union now, and I'm loving their work. A little old game some of you might be familiar with, called Final Fantasy VII, is released on Switch at the end of March. And this is a big deal apparently. Yes, I know enough to know the explosion of Final Fantasy games on the Switch is huge. Unfortunately, the Switch is not getting the long-awaited HD remake of Final Fantasy VII, it's getting the original classic with the famed full motion video and 3D computer graphics, which have an old school kind of charm to them. I'm no expert, but the larger themes of rebels battling against a sinister global enterprise and monopolising natural resources is still relevant today. The classic RPG title is one of the most iconic and well regarded games of all time, and at only $12.79 in the UK, this could be the time that I jump into the Final Fantasy universe. And there are plenty more Final Fantasy releases coming this year, so I better catch up quick. If the thought of Brexit, Trump and the impending doom of untamed global warming has got you in an anxiety-induced stupor, then Final Fantasy's dark undertones might not be for you. Thus, I have the most cute, charming and smile-inducing game ever created to calm your weary mind. Cue Yoshi's Crafted World, the long-awaited cutest platformer in town. Yoshi, like Luigi, never really gets the love he deserves from Nintendo, but after an initial announcement back in 2017, we got a release date via a tweet. I'm guessing Yoshi asked for a big E3 spot and the ultimate of Yoshi games. He got a Crafted World and a tweet. Poor Yoshi. But in the recent direct, we did get a demo for Yoshi's Crafted World, and boy is it the lassie of video games. It just makes me smile. It's just absolutely gorgeous, the music makes you feel like you're in a Disney movie, and there's glorious lands off into the distance that I'm yearning to explore. I'm usually an action type of gamer, but there's something about the plucky little Yoshi and his crafted world full of collectibles that I can't wait to explore. This is the perfect game to enjoy with younger gamers or casual gamers, and everything about it screams comfortably smiley fun apart from the price. Nintendo have gone full EA on this one, and if it's over before it's even started, then $60 for you fans in the US is going to feel like you've been robbed by a toddler. Luckily, it's more respectable £40 in the UK, don't even get me started on the digital version. March 29th, roll on the smiles and roll on the fun-loving dog-riding confused green-skinned dinosaur thing. So those are my top 10 games for the month of March releasing on the Nintendo Switch. I hope you found something you liked on there. There are plenty of games I'm excited for. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Yoshi. I've got a soft spot for that green-tinged dinosaur. I'm looking forward to trying a little bit of Final Fantasy as well. And obviously, World Corps' EX, I've had a lot of fun with that. I love twin-stick shooters. I'd love to hear what you're looking forward to in the month of March, if there's any games on my list you enjoyed, or if there's anything I missed off. Please leave your comments down below, and obviously if this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm off to clear a huge mucus bug from my chest, and I'll see you on the next video.